So let me set the scene for you again. This is in December again. I don't know what it is with December and just jobs, but that it seems to be when people holler at me for a job. December, I get a DM on LinkedIn. Always keep your LinkedIn profile up to date, guys, and be as active as possible, because jobs can come in all shapes and sizes on that platform. Shout outs to the creators of LinkedIn. You guys are doing the Lord's work. So yeah, I got a DM on LinkedIn, and it was this lovely lady, this lovely black woman, telling me that she said, "Hi, Abisola, I have this job, and I think you'd be a great fit for it." And I was like, she asked if I was open to opportunities. Again, I should have really read through our messages just so I'm, not giving alternative facts right here. But correct me if I'm wrong. She asked me if I'm open to opportunities, and at that time, I think I'd just found out that at that time another intern was going to be leaving soon. So it was in the team, it was just me and my manager. We were the only two designers in the company. It's a very small company, but it wasn't a startup. It had been around for years. And I really enjoyed when there was interns. So there would be one intern for 3 months, and then there was another intern for another 3 months. And I really enjoyed working with both of the interns. I thought they were great people. I thought that they were people that I would be friends with in real life. With the second intern, I even hung out with her. I went to recess with her. Shout outs to you, girl. I hope you're doing well. So yeah, I was very happy and excited to have someone to talk to and chill with, in terms of at work, go grab lunch with. It wasn't just me by myself getting on with my design tasks. But the second intern had, left, and I was kind of sad about it. I was just like, well, now I'm back to being by myself. All I do is put on Netflix. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this, it's very incriminating, but just put on Netflix in the background and just get on with my work. And I just felt like it was just so I didn't feel like I was growing. I didn't feel like I was progressing anymore. I didn't feel like I was really learning anything. But I really, really loved my job, and I really loved what I did on a day-to-day basis, and I really loved the people that I was working with. Because shout out to my manager. I hope you are doing well in life. I'm avoiding saying names because I don't know if people want to be, outed like that. So yeah, just hope life is going swimmingly well for you, because literally changed my life forever. So yeah, I got that DM, and I was like, I'm not looking for jobs right now, but yeah, sure, I'm open to opportunities, I guess. I wasn't against leaving, but I wasn't actively trying to leave my existing job. And so she said, okay, great. And she sent me over the job role, the job description, and the job title said senior UI designer. I said, senior who? Senior what? No, thank you. It's okay. You can keep this one. It's okay. And I sent her a message back, and I said, I'd be more interested in mid-level roles, junior to mid-level roles. I'm not really interested in senior roles. And my LinkedIn was very transparent and reflective of the fact that I'd only started being a designer in 2020. And so yeah, I'm 2 years in, barely. So yeah, it's probably not the best idea for someone like that to be a senior designer. And yeah, I said that to her, and she was like, girl, no. She was like, I genuinely feel like this is going to be a great role for you. I genuinely know that you're going to thrive in this role. And she said to me that it's not don't let the title scare me, because it's not actually super senior. It's more mid-level, but you just have this title of a senior designer. And I just thought, okay. I just took her word for it and decided to believe her. And I said, okay, cool, you can put me forward. And she was like, okay, great, send me your CV, send me this, send me that. Sent everything over to her, and I let it go. But then within me, I thought to myself, if somebody could reach out to me about being a senior UI designer or applying for a role of this caliber, clearly I have what it takes to be a mid-level designer. That was my thought process. So I wasn't thinking even that high. I was thinking to myself, oh, you know, if someone could look at me or look at my LinkedIn profile and say, this is a senior designer, well, I can easily snag myself a mid-level job, something that will be a bit more interactive and a bit more, you know, team spirited or just not as isolated. And so I started applying for jobs, like loosely, very loosely. January came, and this was after the Christmas break, of course. So the new year, everyone's catching up on work and stuff. And I got a message from her, and she said, "Oh, are you free for a chat sometime so I can like talk you through the role and all of these things?" I completely forgot about it. So I was like, okay, yeah, sure, cool. So I ended up speaking to her about it. She was like giving me more information about the role. I was like, okay, cool. You know, this is all well and good. I'm not going to get the job anyway. So, but you know, let's keep going. Let's keep chugging through. Let's keep pushing through. And yeah, long story short, ended up making it through the first round. I was like, okay, that's shocking, but okay, cool. Then the second round came, and I ended up meeting my manager, my existing current manager, and the guy, the existing senior UI designer that I was taking over that I would have been taking over his role. I met both of them, and they were great people, really cool guys. Like, hit it off immediately. We were just like joking, talking during this interview, and I thought, oh yeah, these are cool people. It's cool, nice. Anyways, back to my junior mid-level roles. Bearing in mind that during this process of me interviewing with this company, I was getting rejection emails, I was getting rejection text messages and calls from recruiters, and I was getting recruiters looking at me sideways when I was asking for mid-level roles. Like, first of all, recruiters, I just want to say this public service announcement. If you feel like somebody is asking for too much, it's not your place to tell them that. I'm just saying, it's not your place to say to somebody, I don't think you've got what it takes to be in this job. I don't think you've got what it takes to have this salary. Who are you? Who are you? You're not God, and you are not the author and finisher of our faith and of our lives. And so therefore, if someone says to you, if you offer somebody a role or you ask somebody what they're looking for and they are transparent and honest with you, and you don't believe, you in your personal opinion or in your professional opinion, don't believe they have what it takes, all you need to say is, thank you for letting me know. I will get back to you when I have something on my table or my plate that fits your needs or that suits your needs. Thank you, goodbye. That's all you have to say. I don't need the, yeah, I think you should actually apply for roles that's like a lot more junior, because based on your LinkedIn profile, I don't think you have what it takes to be in I don't think you have the experience to be in such a high level role. Like, I was so discouraged after that conversation, or after those messages came through from that recruiter. I just thought to myself, maybe I am asking for too much. Maybe I am doing the absolute most. Maybe I do need to chill and settle down a little bit. And literally, I was speaking to my friends about it. They were like, girl, don't listen to no recruiter. What did they know? First of all, they're all crazy. Nobody likes recruiters. Nobody. I have not met a single person that enjoys the experience of working with recruiters. Okay, we all have our different horror stories. And so I just was really discouraged. And so the recruiter came back to me, the lady that was trying to get me into this current role that I'm in as a senior UI designer. She came back to me. She was like, oh, so what's your salary expectations? What do you expect from this role? What do you expect from this job? And I decided to lower my ballpark after those messages from the recruiter saying that I should actually be looking for a lot less. I decided to lower my ballpark because I thought, oh, maybe I was asking for too much. And so I told her a number and I said, but it's open for discussion. And she said, no. Let me stop you right there. Don't ever in your life say no to yourself. Don't give a number. Don't give them a ballpark and leave it open for discussion. If that is what you want, if that's what you feel you deserve, if that's what you want out of this job, then ask for that. Then it's my job to go back and see if I can get you something, if I can get that for you or something close enough. But don't ever say it's open for discussion, because if that's what you want, that's what you want. You need to stand firm in it. And I just felt like it was a big sister telling a little sister, girl, get it together. That was like tugging on my blazer, like, girl, like, get it together. And I really did get it together after that, because after that I was like, no one can tell me nothing. If I want this number, I want this number. And I'm gonna get this number. So cool. I left it with her. She'd given me that pep talk, so helpful. Again, shout outs to her. I left it with her and went on about my life, went on about my day. And then at this point, I was still interviewing with other people, and people were just, even for other senior roles, and I was getting through. So I was like, so this girl was telling me I should be a junior, I should be looking for junior roles, even less than what I was currently doing in my old job. And yet there's people here that are trying to get me in their company for senior roles. Like, make it make sense. Anyways, so the at this point I'd made it through the first stage, the second stage. Third stage was a task, so I did the task again, not thinking I was gonna get it, I literally, again, same way that I did my first job, I went through this task like, let me have a good time, let me enjoy it, and let me at least be proud of what I come out with. And it said don't spend more than like 3 or 4 hours, and I didn't spend more than 3 or 4 hours, because I said I'm not putting all my eggs into this basket when I know it's gonna, fall or fail anyway. And I was so convinced, oh my gosh, I used to be so pessimistic. I was so convinced that there's nothing that I was going to do to be able to get this job. I'd counted myself out. And so anyways, I ended up getting a call back from the recruiter after all the rounds of the interview. And I just was like, oh, she's calling me to let me know that I didn't get the job. But I don't understand why she can't just text me or just send me a message on LinkedIn or just an email. Just like, why do you need to call me to tell me that I didn't get the job? Like, it's not that deep. And even when I was thinking about the potential of me getting the job, I was telling my friends, and my manager's wife was pregnant, and they were just about to give birth to their first child around the time that I would have needed to leave. And I just thought, what, like, he's gonna have a newborn baby, all of these responsibilities, and I'm just gonna up and leave? Like, that's so rude. Like, no, I need to stay here so that I can be stable and be the stability for the company. And I was like, this is genuinely, I know it sounds ridiculous, but this was my thought process. I was like, no, like, he's just had a baby. It's not fair to him to just up and leave. It would be so rude, especially considering like how much he's helped me and supported me on my journey, how much he's believed in me. Without him, like, he was my first introduction to the industry. And so like, he deserves the courtesy of me staying as long as possible. And so I was speaking to my friends like, even if they offer me the job, like, I don't know if I'm going to take it, because, my manager just had a baby. And even my friend's mum was like, are you all right? She was like, are you all right? You're too young to be worrying about these things, And I said, oh, okay, auntie. Thank you. But yeah, it was the kick up the backside that I needed, that I shouldn't be worrying about other people's, lives and life trajectories. I should be worrying and focused on my own, because you cannot be loyal to these companies. You cannot be loyal or too loyal to these companies, because at the end of the day, anything happens to you, as they love to say, they will replace you tomorrow. That's not to say that I had no loyalty to the company that I was working with. I was definitely very loyal, and loyal to, especially to my manager. He deserved that, nothing less. Because he was an amazing guy. But yeah, I had all of these thoughts and feelings. Just kept saying to myself, well, I'm not going to get it anyway. Even if I do, I probably won't be able to take the job. Blah, de blah, de blah. All the story in Balamori. And yeah, so she calls me, and I almost said her name there. She calls me and she's like, oh, so how do you think the interview went? And I hate that question, because I just know that it's going to come with, yeah, you didn't get it. at the end of it. So I said, oh, well, I thought it went okay. I don't know, like, I just felt like I was talking a lot, and I probably went off topic, and I just, like, I don't know, I was really nervous, so I probably came across as like super shy and like uncomfortable and nervous and not confident at all, which is not what I was going for, especially because I practiced and was like actively trying to be prepared for this. And I was like, yeah, I don't think I did very well, to be honest. And she was like, oh, why do you think that? I was like, yeah, I was just really nervous. She was like, oh, okay, that's really interesting, because they really loved you and they want to offer you the job. And I was like, what did you just say? I was like literally in tears on the phone to her, because I was just like, first of all, not only did she get me the salary that I was asking for, she said that she's going to see if she can get me more, and she got me more. I was working with a low ballpark and she got me more. And it was just her dedication to showing me that I deserved good things. I deserved this role, and I deserved to give myself the chance to shine in this role and to grow, to like have room to grow. And I just couldn't believe it, because I really didn't think I was going to get the job. I just thought to myself, wow, like I've just skipped a few chapters in my own plans. And you know the saying, man plans, God laughs, because at the end of the day, if God has plans for you, I personally, who am I to stand in the way of the plans of the Lord? And I just thought to myself, wow, God, like you're really showing out. And between like November last year and this year, as in June this year, which is when I'm launching, well, I was supposed to launch in June, but I got a bit excited and launched in May, at the end of May instead. But literally this whole entire year and November of 2022, good things have been happening back to like in a scarily like consistent way. They will be like one goal here done, one goal here done, one goal here done. And it's like, it's not little things for me. These are things that I have on my vision board for like in the next 5 years, or my dream this would be, and it happens. And God has really been showing out for me. And so when I got that job, I just thought to myself, nah, God, you are doing the most. And I love it here. I absolutely love it here. And yeah, I was just so overjoyed and ecstatic. But it's the fact that everybody, like my friends, my family, everybody thought I was so ridiculous and had to convince me to keep going on this process, because I genuinely was like, I was ready to count myself out, because I just thought to myself, like, my manager's having a baby. Who's got time to be leaving the company right now? If I leave and he's off on paternity leave, who's going to do the work? Do you know what I mean? And we were swimming in work. So I just thought, nah, it's not a good time. It's really not a good time. And the funniest thing about it is, when I got the job, I was so scared. I was so scared to put in my letter of resignation. I asked my manager if he was free for a call. Bear in mind, I think the week or 2 weeks before this, we went out for our one-to-one. We went to grab a coffee. So we went for a walk, and he was talking about, oh yeah, you know, these are some goals that we can work towards. He was like, oh yeah, you know, you go away, think about what you want to work towards, and I'll see how I can support you. And we were just chit-chatting, oh, this is what we can be doing in the next couple of months. I want to see you here. I want to maybe get you on this, get you doing more of this, so that you can really like challenge yourself and go for it. And I was there like, yeah, let's go, because I genuinely didn't think I was leaving this company anytime soon. So I was there like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go make my own list, get back to you about that. And literally, so when I asked him if he's free for a call, later on he told me that he knew that was why I was asking, because there was no other reason why I'd be asking him to speak like the way that I did. Until I was shaking in my boots. And I said, I'm so sorry to say this. Almost like I was breaking some bad news. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry to say, but I have been offered a role and I'll be leaving, and I would like to put in my formal notice. And I just want to thank you so much for everything that you've done. I really appreciate you. Like, you have been the absolute best manager in the world. Like, I don't have a bad thing to say about my manager. He was an incredible guy. Like, he was literally my first introduction to UX UI and to the working world, because I was in uni the whole time and I was in working retail and just other jobs that weren't like anything fulfilling or that I wanted to do for life. And so this was my first experience with a manager in a 9-to-5 job in a working world, and he was the most perfect introduction to that for me, because he was so accommodating, so helpful, so reassuring and reaffirming. It was crazy. And I think in a lot of ways, it was actually because he started off as an intern in the company and he worked his way up to a design director in his 30s. I think he was in his mid 30s, like maybe 35 or 34. And I was like, do you know how mind blowing it is to be a design director at that age? What? Yeah, I was mind blown at his journey. But I think that really helped him stay grounded and humble, and helped him to be able to see things from my perspective, and just understand me way more, because he's been there. He knows what it's like he understands. And so I was shaking in my boots to let him know that I was leaving, and he was literally like, that is absolutely fine. And I was like, I know you just had a baby and like it's not the best time, or you're about to have a baby and it's not the best time. And he was like, he literally asked me word for word, bar for bar, are you the one that knocked up my wife? And I said, well then, alrighty then. Great. So where do I sign on the dotted line to get up out of here? But he made so much light out of it, and he made me feel so much more comfortable and so much more at peace at the fact that I was leaving, because I didn't feel, very happy about leaving, because I was just so nervous about the effect it's going to have on the team and on the company. Not that I'm that important, but I just thought, it's just not a good time. It's not a good time. And he just kept saying, like, my personal life, like the things going on with me, has nothing to do with you. If you find something better, move on to something better. Don't wait around, and I appreciate your consideration, but you really shouldn't care. And I was like, when he said all of these things, I was like, I exhaled, and I decided, you know what? He's right, and let's all move on. So yeah, shout outs to you, my ex-manager, best manager in the world. My current manager is 10 out of 10. Literally has been so great. And this is why I just feel so blessed, because how did I get a good manager, a good company, and good colleagues twice in a row? Like, I'm scared to move on to anything after this, because I'm like, I don't want to go somewhere and have a bad experience, because I have been spoiled. I have been spoiled with amazing managers. And so, yeah, that is the story in Valamori. And that's my tech journey. And yeah, I accepted the role for my current job, put in my notice, accepted this role. And now I've been in this role for 3 months. I just had my 3 months anniversary 2 days ago. And it's been challenging. It's been exciting. It's been affirming. It's been amazing. Like, it's just been so nice. And I'm really enjoying it. And I'm happy to report that I love what I do. I love waking up every day, even the days when I have to go into the office. I actually enjoy going into the office now. Like, who is this girl and what has she done with the Real Abisola? Because this is really not me. But I absolutely love what I do, to the point where I could lay in bed on a Saturday night and happily do my job, like instead of going out. But I'm working on that. But that brings us to the end of the second episode, which is all about my career journey, how I got to where I am now. I know I probably skipped over a whole bunch of things, but I'm going to do a more detailed look into my career and my journey in the next episode, where I'll be going through frequently asked questions that people have DM'd me about, that will kind of give you a better look and a closer look into my career and my journey, and hopefully you find it very helpful. But yeah, I just want to encourage anybody that's listening right now, even if you're not in the tech space, even if you're not in business or anything like that, and you're not a UX UI designer, maybe you're a nurse or a doctor or an architect, or maybe you're even looking to transition into tech, and you're just looking at your options right now, or you are a designer and you're just feeling a bit deflated, whatever umbrella you fall under, I just want to encourage you today and just say, do you know what? Take one day at a time. Take one day at a time. And eventually things will fall into place. Stay true to yourself and do the things that make you happy. Do the things that bring you the most joy and fulfillment. And I hope eventually you can look back on this moment and on this day, and you can look back on this time in your life with immense gratitude, because it was an opportunity for you to grow and excel, and it was needed for your lovely book to come to an end. And so or for your book to be interesting, the book of your life to be super interesting. So yeah, try to keep positive and keep a positive outlook. I know it's easier said than done, but if you keep repeating to yourself that you're going to get a job, you're going to transition into tech, you're going to get the salary of your dreams, you're going to be able to afford your lifestyle, you're going to be able to go on holiday and work at the same time, you're going to get a fully remote role, you're going to be a manager, a director, a CEO, CEO, you're going to be all of these things. If you keep repeating them to yourself, eventually that will be your reality. But yes, thank you for listening to today's episode of the Perceptionist Playbook. I'm your host, Abisola, and I just want to remind you all that there's no better time than the present to work on yourself and your career and your businesses. And so if you have an idea or a business idea that you've kind of been sitting on and pondering on for quite a while, this is your sign to get up and go. Just go ahead and do it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be everything you envision it to be from day one, but let's start somewhere. Okay, so yes, thank you for joining me on today's episode. Until next time, remember, your diversity is your strength. Bye.